WAGSY'S World, WAGSY'S World, it's awesome. WAGSY'S World, WAGSY'S World, have some fun. WAGSY'S World, WAGSY'S World, like and subscribe.
Hi everyone, I'm WAGSY. Welcome to WAGSY'S World. Hey, we've got a great one today. What makes the band AC/DC great? Stay tuned to the end of the video. I've got a very special bourbon review. I mean, it's a kind of a unicorn and allocated type bottle. Also, I'm going to give you my top 5 AC/DC songs. That was not easy to do. Boy, to condense all that great music into your top 5, it was hard. Okay, let's get into it. AC/DC, founded in 1973, Sydney, Australia, by Malcolm and Angus Young, the brothers. 1975, they gained some attention with their High Voltage album. And then by 77, they had settled in on a classic lineup. Angus Young, lead guitar, Malcolm Young, rhythm guitar, Bon Scott, lead vocalist and frontman, Phil Rudd playing the drums, and Cliff Williams on the bass guitar. In 1980, they hit their breakthrough album, Highway to Hell. It was worldwide and huge. Unfortunately, 7 months after its release, Bon Scott, their lead singer, passed away. They spent some time and found Brian Johnson and brought him in to record the massive tribute to Bon Scott album, Back in Black. It was a monster album. It has sold $50 million worldwide.
Records.
That's second best album ever from any artist to Michael Jackson's Thriller. And that is incredible considering a hard rock band could have that mainstream popularity. Now their album sells over 200 million, 17 albums. Here's some of the classics that I would recommend to listen to and or purchase. High Voltage, Back in Black, Highway to Hell, Dirty Deeds, Powerage, Razor's Edge, Let There Be Rock. I own all those and would recommend them. Now tours. They've had massive tours over the years in terms of the number of cities, the number of countries, and their stage productions are larger than life. I saw them in the early years, late 70s, literally kick Aerosmith off the stage. Aerosmith was in their dark years, and AC/DC was young, hungry in America, and they made a statement supporting that Aerosmith tour. Now, speaking of statement, let's go to the critics. The critics have never liked AC/DC. In fact, they've scoffed at them. Over the years, they've gotten a little softer on their stance. I think because so many fans and musicians were molded by AC/DC. So they have softened slightly. But here's a 1976 Rolling Stone review. The lead singer spits out annoying aggression, Bon Scott. On the guitarist Angus, he mindlessly plays 3 chords. Yes, they are a chord-based band, always have been, but sometimes if you do something right that's simple, it's great. The critic said that he felt rock had reached an all-time low. That's a little heavy-handed, bud. Now here's a Rolling Stone magazine review in 2020. So all these years later, and here's what the writer of this story had to say from Rolling Stone. They still sound like AC/DC and are unapologetic about it. Ear-splitting guitar riffs, angry truck exhaust vocals from Brian Johnson. I've never heard it compared to that, but that actually sounds right. A truck exhaust is Brian Johnson's vocals. That growl, that huff, that's a pretty cool statement, actually. They're hard rockers that will never be stopped by anything. And their consistency is what the fans love and critics hate. So a little kinder, but not a lot kinder. You know, after Malcolm passed, a lot of musicians and some critics put him in the category with Keith Richards as the greatest rhythm guitarist of all time. So Malcolm did get his due. Angus said, my brother is a lot better guitar player than me. Malcolm wrote a lot of the music, helped with a lot of the lyrics. He was an unsung, behind the scenes hero of that band, no doubt, and older brother to Angus. Angus with Bon and Angus with Brian, though, are the stars of this band, and they always have been. Some critics and a lot of fans feel Bon Scott was one of the greatest frontmen of all time and probably established the template for a hard rock frontman. Now, Wagsy. Why does Wagsy think AC/DC is great? Oh boy. There's too many reasons to name. But I will say this. I bought the High Voltage cassette in 1978. Through 1978 to 1981, I wore out 3 tape decks in my car. And they were responsible for a lot of that wear and tear. I played their music to death. They had a driving rhythm and with solid solos and runs. Kick butt, in your face rock. You know, it reminded me of the rock songs of the 50s. That simple beat. They basically played that music, but on steroids, joke cola, and probably a lot of illegal stuff. You know, the 50s rock, the basis of it, a lot of it was written about cars and girls. Well, AC/DC's music was about fun, partying, having a good time, and girls. Back in Black was a masterpiece album, and Highway to Hell album defined their career. Angus played, here's a funny story. Angus paid tribute to Chuck Berry's Duck Walk. We all know that. The problem with that is I paid tribute to Angus's Duck Walk too many times at parties and dances. I'm sure way too many times for my poor family to have to observe. I like doing the Duck Walk air guitar from Angus. Not so much anymore, but a lot back in the day. Okay, I told you I was going to give you my top 5 songs of AC/DC. This was almost impossible, but I'm going to go for it. In 5th place, Shoot to Thrill. Killer song. 4th place, Thunderstruck. Yes, it's played at all the stadiums and kind of got, you know, a little overplay, but it's a great tune. Talk about driving. Shot Down in Flames. Kind of a side song, but it's always been one of my favorites, especially the live version. Riff Raff. Killer tune with Bon on the vocals. He's just like a little devious guy. And number 1 for me, Problem Child. Again, the pace of the song, Bon screaming, the guitars just driving it home. Those are my top 5, and my honorable mention is Ride On, and that's a slow bluesy tune. Not a lot of people have heard. Listen to Ride On. It's Ride On. Okay, so those are my top 5 AC/DC songs. And one other thing. I told my cousin Ariel many years ago, if I'm ever tired, when we used to do a lot of barbecues and you're prepping the food, it might take hours, and then you're doing the barbecue itself. If I'm ever tired and wore out, put on some AC/DC songs. I'll pump up. And that's why I think AC/DC is great, for all those reasons and many more. Okay, let's do the very special bourbon review. Not really review, just kind of making you aware of it. Stag Jr. Now this bottle is not easy to get a hold of. You will literally have to stumble into it or know somebody at a liquor store. This is a bottle that's allocated by Buffalo Trace, which means few bottles go out and they're hidden, and the people that are in the know get them. This will not be a Bevmo. This will not be a Total Wine. But this is an awesome awesome product. Stag Jr., as it was known until this year, and a few months ago, they just changed the name. They're going to drop the Junior, so it'll be called Stag. And it's the son of George T. Stagg, the Buffalo Trace BTAC series product that is always in the top 5 every year of bourbons. George T. Stagg. This is Stag Jr. Now, this one is 130 proof. They vary. It's barrel proof, unfiltered, straight from the barrel. Let's open it up. See what we get. Look, I even short poured myself. That's how hard to find it is. Expense-wise, if you're lucky enough to find one, you're probably going to be pushing $100. So this is a special occasion. I've actually had this for a couple of years. Beautiful caramel nose, caramel vanilla, classic bourbon. Actually, that's what this is. Classic bourbon done totally right. Now, oh, that's so good. You will get a little bit of heat in the front. I wouldn't call it heat, but hello, I'm there. But at that proof, it is amazing that it doesn't taste like gas. But the flavors are just complex. It's not filtered, so it has a little bit of a viscosity to it. It's something that you would only have one if you had one. And I probably won't sip this again for months. But highly recommended as a special occasion to have at your house. Or if you see it in a restaurant or bar, definitely get it. You can find it for maybe $20, $25 a shot out in the public. And take advantage of that. Try it first and then start hunting for a bottle. Anyway, that's Stag Jr., now called Stag. That's a little review or product awareness on that. Guys, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell. And we will see you next Friday.